Merry meet witchlings, and welcome back to my channel. It's the Twisted Witch Midnight Moon Song here. And since the new moon's right around the corner, I'm going to talk to you today about some things that you can do to honor the new moon. Specifically with the goddess Hecate. I work with this goddess quite often, and in fact she's one of my patrons. The new moon is something I work with way more than the full moon. In fact, I hardly ever really do anything with the full moon. The only time I find myself in a circle for the full moon is if a close friend wants to do that and wants me to join them. Then I usually go. But aside from that, in my own personal workings, I always go to the new moon. Now, as you can see here, this is a simple setup for Hecate. And some people might call her Hecate, and however you say her name. However she feels comfortable with you saying her name is up to you. But for Hecate, I use an athame. This athame is made out of bone, since I do like to use bone in a lot of my work. This is a special skull that I have. It's a canine skull. And Hecate is represented by several types of animals, one of them being canines. And so I have painted the skull black, I trimmed it in gold, and this sigil is a sigil of manifestation. Sorry about that. That was my baby making noise. Now be quiet. Now, here we have Hecate's candle. It is Moonlit Night, respectively. She picked it out. She chose it. The scent is really nice. This is her sacred candle. I have the quartz that I work with all the time. And as you can see, if you look inside, it actually has a crystal inside. Next, we have amethyst. This little amethyst is slightly curved, almost in a moon shape, so I really like to use it for Hecate and work with the moon. This last piece of quartz here is what's called black quartz. It's different from smoky quartz. It is rarer, and the work it can do with the new moon is spectacular. It is also a great protection stone. Now you see I have a key. This key is for new beginnings. And the new moon is all about working with new beginnings and opening up new doors. And then we have this little piece of mirror that actually broke, but it looks so perfect as a little moon. I use it in my moon rituals all the time. And then, of course, we have Hecate's circle. I did find this circle online. I printed it off, and I put box tape over it and sort of laminating it, I guess. And I use this. Now this is just a simple setup just to give you an idea. Sometimes I may put a crystal inside the canine head. And this skull is for multiple use. It's not just for Hecate, but it fits very well with Hecate in a new moon ritual. Now I would light her candle, and I would go about it like that. I would call her forth through my own incantation and bring in that energy and meditate and such. And that's what I normally do. I also charge objects. I charge water. I recharge my grimoire and a moon bath. I do all those sorts of things. The new moon has everything beneficial that the full moon has, with a little extra. The full moon, you can do just about anything, but the new moon works on a metaphysical level that's much deeper, and it's very much rooted into your subconscious and into that part of you. You can also give offerings to Hecate. Any black stone is perfect as an offering or to work with the new moon in general. Amethyst is a good one as well because it's a very spiritual stone, and the new moon is a very spiritual moon. Black animals are very well and tuned with that as well, whether it be snakes, dogs, cats, anything that comes in a natural shade of black can be incorporated into any new moon ritual. Like I said before, keys are a sign of new beginning, and that is one thing that the new moon is a big symbol of, is starting new, becoming new, starting on a path that's better. And keys are a good thing with unlocking new doors and closing old ones. You don't have to work with bone. I want to stress that real quick. You don't have to work with it at all. It is just something I enjoy working with. And it's my own personal view. Now, when using new moon, like I said, this is just Hecate's candle, but I brought it to illustrate the point. If you don't work with a deity, working in a new moon, black candles are also really good. Like, anything white can substitute if you don't have anything black. But the color black is very resonant with the dark moon because it's, well, dark and you can't see it, so it appears as black. Death magic is also something that's done a lot around the new moon, and Hecate is a great goddess to work with death magic. And when you use death magic, it's not something that's killing someone or killing an animal or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's to do with spirit work. Using bones in general is a death magic sort of thing. So stuff like bone and even shells and stuff like that can be incorporated as death magic. And all you're doing is celebrating death. You're celebrating the fact that death exists. You're not making it evil. You're celebrating the fact that it's a natural form of existence. It's a state of nature everything will return to. And it's the ending. But in that ending, there's always a new life. And that's what the new moon symbolizes as a whole. That's why bones are very, very great to work with in that symbolism and that sense. Now, plant-wise, I don't have any plants here, but you could easily use any type of dark flower, dark fruit, or dark herb. They don't have to be straight black, because I know there's not a lot of ones that are black, but anything that comes in a very, very dark shade of purple or very dark blue, anything like that would work very well for the new moon, especially roses. Roses are a very good flower I've found that work really well with the new moon. With anything, mostly. They are a very versatile flower. They have the widest language of most flowers. And finding dark purple roses or dark blue roses and such, or they do have manufactured black roses that will work. They do work because it's the symbolism and the intention behind it. You can also purchase actual black roses, but they're a lot rarer and a lot more expensive. And they can be kind of hard to find if they're out of season. So look into that and look into what the seasons are. Get yourself some black roses and try them out if you want to. You can also have stuff like black feathers. Black feathers work really well. I have a black feather and I completely forgot to bring it down for this setup. But it's a corvid feather. I'm unsure if it belongs to crow or raven, but I use it as a raven symbol. And it works well for me. Now, you don't have to use an athame. I like to use the athame here for Hecate mostly. I feel led to. You can use your wand or a sacred feather if you choose. But it's not something that's absolutely necessary. Another crystal I want to point out real quick is smoky quartz. Smoky quartz isn't straight black, but it will work with this setup. It is a stone that does work with Hecate. And as I mentioned before, any black stone, regardless of what it is, will work for a new moon ritual, especially for Hecate. Incense-wise, I like to use lavender. I can't show you right now because my incense burner broke, the one with the moon on it. It broke in half, but we can easily glue it and fix it. So right now it's waiting to be fixed, and hopefully I'll get it fixed before I have to use it. It's really, really, really perfect. Anything that has a moon symbol in it will be perfect for the ritual, whether that's a crescent, a full moon, or whatever. Because even though it's the dark moon, it still exists. It's still there. And even though you can't always find stuff that has a black moon on. If you can, great, make your own if you want to. But something like this mirror, it broke into a moon shape, so I use it for the moon. Even though it's not black, I don't feel the need to paint it black because I feel this type of mirror is perfect for an inner reflection, which is also something that the new moon can symbolize, and something you can very well work with. Reflecting on your inner self can help you to open the new doors. Now, I have worked with some ancestral work as well on the new moon, and for me that's worked pretty well. It's not something I do often on the new moon, but it is something I have done, and it's something I do recommend if you are into ancestral work. Now, lastly, in closing, I would like to say that I like to play music during my rituals, during this ritual especially. And in this, I typically play Enya's Bodicea. Excuse me. The light hum is perfect for getting into that mindset, at least for me. Just the rhythmic hum is great, and it helps my mind to focus and my heart and my spirit to sort of link up in those vibrations, especially for the full moon. I don't know, it might be a type of tone and type of music that Hecate really likes. And if you do work with her and you want to work with her with the new moon, I invite you to find a copy or find it on YouTube. I play the hour-long version on YouTube all the time during my ritual, excuse me, because I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting there. Sometimes a ritual will take a full hour. Sometimes it'll only take half an hour, because I like to sit there and meditate and commune a lot. So the hour-long version is just that hum, a beautiful hum over and over again. And if you haven't ever used that in your craft before, sound is something great to use. And that is a sound that I personally prefer. And I know that because the new moon is a very, very subtle thing, if that particular sound isn't your thing, any subtle, deep, tranquil type music, type melody would probably work best for the vibrations of the new moon. Because while the full moon is very bold and bright, the new moon is a very subtle, dark background type character that has very forward emotions in it, meaning that it's not something you're going to see big and bold and right there in your face, but it's there and its meaning is there, and if you choose to look and choose to find it, you're going to find great and powerful things. Thus, a nice gentle melody probably would work the best. And with that, I'm going to stop here. If you have any more questions about the moon, or would you like to share your own moon rituals, please comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And I will see you next time. Blessed be.